Hi everyone, welcome back to Shilpi's Academy. So now we are going to start one new chapter, and that is e-correspondence. All right. See, we just finished business correspondence, and in that it was more about the letters, the reports, and everything in a written format, right? However, the world has now moved more towards e-correspondence. Most of the work, most of the business is done through emails these days, right? It's done on the web, it's done on the internet. And especially in COVID times that we are now in, there is hardly any correspondence which is done through hard copy. Everything is done through e-format. So this chapter is going to be very, very important for you, because by the time you become company secretaries, I think e-correspondence would probably be the only way to go. So let's start this chapter, right? Now, what is the concept of e-correspondence? Professionals, non-professionals, experts, students, we are all turning increasingly to the internet in our lives. Whether we want to find educational openings abroad, do banking operations online, find research material, send corporate emails, internet is the place where we most often go. It's not most often, I think internet is the place where we all the time go, right? So from the trivial to the highly complex, we look for answers to most of our questions in the www dot. That is World Wide Web, as we call it, the Google Baba. All right. So many people use the terms internet and World Wide Web interchangeably, but in fact, these two terms are not synonymous. They are two separate but related things. All right. Now let's understand this first, what they are trying to tell you about e-correspondence. See, anyone and everyone these days needs the help of internet. Whether we have to make a project, study for an exam, make a presentation, or we want to find any job, or we want to transfer any money to someone's account, everything is done on the e-world, right? And if there is any information also we want to find out, we mostly turn to Google and type, and it's always in the World Wide Web. Okay, if even not in Google, we could be using Internet Explorer. Before times we used to be doing more from Internet Explorer. So everything is there on the World Wide Web. That is your www. All right. So all our questions is over. I mean, all our answers is most oftenly found by us over there only. Now, most of us, I think, I don't know about you, but at least there was a time when even I used to think that internet and www dot is probably a similar thing. I mean, we used to feel like not much difference, right? You can say, like now also we say, if you're not able to find something, go and search on the net. No, what we are trying to say is go and you find out from www dot. But actually, internet and www is a little different. You cannot use them in the same context, all right? There is a difference between World Wide Web and internet. World Wide Web is a part of internet, okay? Although it's the most important part, but it's just a part of the internet. It is not entire internet, okay? So let's see this. Yeah, over here I wanted to explain meaning of one word here. From the trivial to the highly complex. Trivial means something really small, okay? Something like, even if we want to find, say we put up a stain of ink on our shirt, even for that small matters, we would turn to Google and ask how to remove ink stains from clothes. To something very complex also, like how to develop an atom bomb, for example. All the things we actually turn to the net for answers. Now, the World Wide Web, or simply web, is a way of accessing information over the medium of internet. Web is just one of the ways through which information can be disseminated over the internet. Disseminated means it can be transferred, it can be distributed, it can be sent over, right? So web is one of those platforms through which it can be done. It uses the HTTP protocol, one of the languages spoken over the internet, to transmit data. Okay. So in this, most important things to remember is the full form of www dot, and then you need to remember that internet and web is not the same. Internet and World Wide Web are different. World Wide Web is one part of it which is helping to disseminate the information to all over the internet. Okay. So internet cannot disseminate information on its own. Internet needs the help of web, or the World Wide Web, to disseminate the information. This is the point which you need to keep it in mind. And what is the language, or what is the tool which is used by this to spread the information? It is HTTP. It's a type of a language. It's an internet language, and it is known as the HTTP protocol. It also utilizes browsers like Chrome, Explorer, Firefox to access web documents called web pages that are linked to one another via hyperlinks. Web documents also contain graphic, sound, text, video. This is one of the most important paragraph from where you can get questions. Okay, so this why it is one of the most important part is that they are telling you that what are the various browsers, okay, and whatever you want to search on the net, everything is available on web documents. All right, those are the files which is available on the web. How do we access those? Through certain browsers. What are those browsers? Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, a lot of them are there. Okay, so we access this web documents, and these web documents are known as web pages. Okay, so whatever websites or not just websites, anything that we that opens up on our search boxes are all web pages, right? And these web pages, they are all linked to each other. How are the web pages linked to one another? They are linked by a hyperlink. Okay, so the hyperlink is like, you can say, the smaller link. Okay, hyperlink is the link which kind of connects all the web pages. So this is one important thing which you need to remember, which can be asked in the question. What is a hyperlink? Now these web documents contains graphic, sound, text, audio. This is okay. Now internet, not the web, is also used for email, right? The email is not done on web. Okay, email is done through the and like email, when we are sending to one another, we use internet in that process, right? But it is not done through World Wide Web. So web is not coming in the picture when we are sending email. It's internet and email together. Web is just part of the internet, although a large part, but these two terms are not synonymous. So make sure that web is different and internet is different. Now coming up to the next part, web browser. I think all of you know this, that whenever we want to find out any information, we need a browser. Okay, and this is that web browser. And this is a software application which is displays the information on the World Wide Web. It allows you to traverse information resources. Information on the web is organized and formatted using tags of a markup language, which is known as hypertext markup language, or the HTML. Now be very, very, very careful in this part. Okay, information on the web is organized how? They are organized through tags. If you see, whenever we search for any things, no, the group of words are known as tags. Like how we tag each other, how we put tags on the YouTube videos also. Those are those group of words, and this is how the entire information is available on the internet. Okay, so it is done through tags, and these tags use a markup language. How do we format and organize these tags? It is all done through a language which is known as HTML. The full form of HTML is hypertext markup language. Be very, very careful of what is HTTP. HTTP protocol was the language which the internet was using. Okay, now this browser uses a way to format the tags, and that is known as HTML. So be careful, HTTP is different, HTML is different. You see that whenever you search for anything on the browser or any website, it starts with HTTP dot dot like that. So that is HTTP. Okay, now this language of HTML is what is like how they're organizing the tags. Okay, how they're formatting the tags. So this is what you need to remember over here. And then what are the popular explorers, web browsers? Sorry, you know all that already. Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Opera, and Safari. Now, this is one very simple thing which most of you would be knowing. Okay, what are the interaction buttons? There's a back button, there's a forward button. When you want to go back to the website, you have this button to go back. And then when you want to go forward, you can go forward also. I'll just probably show 1 second. So I think you can see over here, this is your back button. Can you see this? Click to go back. When you put it here, it will say, click to go back and see the history. So this is your back button, and this is your forward button. Okay, click to go forward, hold to see history. So this is your back and forward buttons. Then the next is it talks about tab. It allows you to view multiple pages in the same browser without opening a new browser section. So that is how it works over here. See, these are all the tabs which I have opened: WhatsApp, Inbox, ICSI, Law of TOTS, and all these other 4 tabs. I'm on the same browser window and I have opened 4-5 tabs. So this is what is tabs. Then next is your address bar, which is also known as URL bar. It's a place where you can type the web page address. Okay. So if you see this, this is your address bar where I can type whatever I want. Okay. The triple S like that I have typed. So this is your address bar. It is also known as your URL bar. Coming on to the next part, recent history. This shows the link to the web pages previously opened by you. Refresh, stop. I think most of you know this. Okay, I mean, I don't think so. I have to be explaining all this stuff to you. Okay. So just need to remember that address and URL bar is the same where we type anything to find out the website. That is your address bar. This shows the link to the web pages. Recent history, you all know what is recent history. Refresh the page also, you all know it's about reloading it. Sometimes when it's not able to come out properly, we kind of refresh it or reload it. Stop, it cancels the loading of the current web page. If you put a stop anywhere, it will not upload the web page anymore. Home button, if you click, it brings you back to the first page of that website. And whenever we go to a website and explore, we see, there's a home button. Home button means you're again back to the first page of the website. Search box allows you to allow any term to be searched on the search engine by the web. So where is your search box? This is your search box. This is your search box. Search for Google or type a URL. So this is your search box. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to the portions. So in this, I think most of you would be knowing it. You just need to remember that address bar is also known as the URL bar. All right. Now coming to internet. Internet is a massive network of networks, a networking infrastructure. It connects millions of computers together, globally forming a network in which any computer can communicate with any other computer as long as they are both connected to the internet. Information that travels over internet does so by a variety of languages like protocols. This is important, okay? The internet uses TCP or IP as a basic protocol on which many more application levels are developed, okay? So in this, what you need to remember is, I'm telling you, internet is not just one network. It is a huge infrastructure of networks, and it connects a lot of networks to it. It connects all the computers in this entire world which has internet. Okay, so if my computer is having internet, your computer is having internet, we can communicate with each other, right? So this is the basic fund of internet. Now what you need to remember is what is protocol. Okay, protocol is that how is the information traveling through the internet from my computer to your computer. It travels through the internet, and the language of that internet is protocol. You need to remember this word, protocol. Okay, and what is the basic protocol that the internet is using? It is TCP or IP address. We say, what is your IP address? If you know, every computer has a typical IP address, so it uses TCP and IP address, and in that, then it has more application level protocols, the languages, the browsers, and all those things, and thus it has become a developed form. Okay, so internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that runs on the net. It is a collection of textual documents and other resources connected by hyperlinks and URLs, transmitted by web browsers, web servers. In short, the web can be thought of as an application running on the internet. Yes. So internet runs, there is one application. Web is kind of an application which is running on the internet. All right. Now, World Wide Web. Viewing a web page on the World Wide Web normally begins with typing the URL into a browser or by a hyperlink to that page or resource. So you all know hyperlink. Hyperlink is the connecting link, inside page, some link which you shared, that is the hyperlink. So when you type that on the URL, that web page would open for you. Or you need to type the URL of that page. Okay, so the difference of the URL and hyperlink is URL is the main link of that page, and hyperlink is the connecting link, the link which kind of connects the web pages together. That is known as the hyperlink. So this is all about Internet World Wide Web. In this thing, what you all need to remember is about HTTP, HTML, the difference of Internet and World Wide Web. Then what is World Wide Web? The protocol, the browsers, and the address bar, URL bar. These are the important things which you need to keep in mind for your exam purpose. Now coming to what is e-correspondence. E-correspondence is also known as email correspondence, electronic correspondence. It is just, e-correspondence is basically corresponding with each other through the internet, okay, through the email, through electronic method. So that is your e-correspondence. Now, what is email? Email is commonly known as the process of sending or receiving a computer file or message by computer modem over telephone wires or a pre-selected mailbox or address on another computer. We generally send the emails to each other on a particular email ID, no? So this is a pre-selected mailbox or an address. Okay, so the email address, we say, no, what is your email address? So that is this. Now, email is a central component of business communication. So yes, almost all the communication on business is done through emails. So both the enterprises and the many advantages is that it has efficiency, speed, and 24-hour availability. Even at night, 3 o'clock, if you want, you can send an email. I mean, you don't have to wait next day for the postman to come and take your letter, right? That's why it's very important. So electronic mail only is abbreviated as email, and it is probably the most used medium of communication today. Okay. Then the next is ability of the email to securely forward multimedia photo software has made it popular. You cannot just write text and forward. You can attach so many things to it. You can attach a video, you can attach an image, you can attach documents, Excel sheets, everything can be attached, right? So that's why it's very, very popular mode of communication in today's time. There has been, I think there is nothing which has kind of replaced email. Although we use WhatsApp, Telegram, everything, but still the official means of communication remains the email. Now, let's study a little about the history of the email. Before we go to the history of the email, I want you all, this history of the email we were doing in the second video. So I just want you all to do a quick recap of whatever you have studied today. Because although you know most of the things, but some of the words you need to remember. There's a small difference. Okay, don't get confused between HTTP and HTML. Don't get confused that URL bar and address bar. It's the same thing. So just go through this portion, and in the next video, we'll talk about history of email. Till then, bye-bye.